Greetings fans, hyperfans and people just lost looking for videos of cats on YouTube. Welcome to 2014, Year of the Horse. We are pretty much kicked off on any calendar that you can think of. With all of those Rubicons past, I have to do a little bit of housekeeping. Now, a couple of videos ago I did an unboxing from a big pile of stuff sent to me by Uncle Billy's Toy Castle, and I haven't covered a lot of that. One of the things I really should have covered, because it was sent to me as an extra, was this set here. Quite a lot of reasons stopped me from doing this straight away. The first one being it was already a pretty old product. Secondly, I couldn't really work out an angle on how to review it. It's obviously the sword that's supposed to go with Fort Max, though in this colour it's kind of the Brave Max version. So okay, that's what it is. It's the sword to use with Fort... no. It's kind of still too small for this. And anyway, if everybody's bought the reissued version, that one came with a sword. Okay, so... other giant robots we got coming out. Metroplex, yeah, except I'm not going to get hold of one of those to review this with. Now, I am spotting a pattern with my reviews. A lot of the stuff I do is things I've altered, but it kind of matches up with things that everyone else is getting excited about. Now, I got my Generations Prowl and had customised it about the same time that everybody else was getting their Masterpiece one. By that rationale, I should probably be doing something with either Generations Whirl, which has just come out in the States, or the Voyager class Beast Hunter Shockwave, which has finally made it into supermarkets in the UK. Now, I've actually already got a toy for Shockwave and a toy for Whirl, and I'm happy with those. But there was another third-party toy that came out recently, and I will get to that. Some of you may already be making the connection, and we'll see if you're right or not. This version of the Fort Max sword came in nice black box, plastic tray. None of those have survived until I got to making the video, so we're going to have to look at just what we got in the content. Laid out in front of you, you have all the plastic sword bits, the resin replacement head and gun for any of the Classics Bumblebees, and of course the now obligatory trading cards. This was an interesting set because none of these actually have anything to do with the main product, which is the sword. We got 2 cards for Survivalist Transbots Wheelie. Let's see if I can get that to catch up. They've got a kind of spider web holographic pattern. You get 2 of them because on one side you have Chinese, and on one of those cards you have the English. Exactly the same here. These are a much plainer card, but that gives you bumper. So let's just move the sword off to one side at the moment and bring these pieces into sharp focus. Now these are resin as opposed to the injection molded plastic that you get with most of this stuff. Feels not cheap, but definitely not the same quality as the Hasbro stuff, nor any of the third-party stuff that I've been getting recently. The head has deliciously chromy goodness around the mouth, no light piping, and basically it's just something to pull the head off of and push this on instead. I have one of the reveal the shield bumblebees, but he is been turned into a nice shiny gold bug, and I'm not pulling that apart just to show this piece off. It's not the main point of the kit, it's a nice little extra, and if you are someone who buys big batches of robots on eBay, if you have ended up with duplicates of that figure for any reason, or if you have actually just gone out and bought him because you do want him to turn into a Z-list Autobot standing in the background character, cool and groovy. In fact, if you are a massive Bumper fan and you can tell me something cool and interesting about him in the comments below, I will send this bit out to you. Looking at the God Sword itself, it comes in a collection of pieces with these nice blue translucent and hard grey plastic pieces. Now this is the hilt of pretty much every mode of the sword. It opens here, but on my version this is exceptionally loose. I can probably tighten it up with a little bit of super glue, but considering you have to pop this open every time you recreate the sword, it's an absolute pain. Back to the idea of who this toy is actually for. So you can just take the handle, the tip of the blade, the pommel, and it will fit into the hand of pretty much any generation's figure. If you have a look at the plastic pieces which are in absolutely no way attached for the sword, you find out that this is actually meant to go onto the Transformers Classics Voyager class. 1 second. Optimus Prime / Ultra Magnus / Nemesis Prime, Scourge, whatever he got retitled to, mould. These little bars with a thick and thin clip. There we go. Are meant to slide over his door kibble. Widest piece at the bottom. Same on the other side. See if that makes it any easier to see. It just slides on over that door shelf. And the rocket pack just clipping on to the weapon port at the back. Let's see if I can get that folded right. And this is supposed to allow you to not only give him the mini version of the sword, but to clip on these side wings, take these two pipes and give him shoulder cannons. Why is that not flicking on there? Squeezing that on. And then little holes on the back there, matching up with pegs on those arm clips. And giving him, you know, heavily over the top, magnified appearance. But the reason you really buy this set, if I just strip all this back off of him, is because you want a huge sword. So once again, struggling to open up that panel. We now add, let's see, one of these pieces, doesn't matter which one, one of these wing pieces over the top, other wing piece on the other side, the original shorter blade in at the top, squeeze the top piece down over there, and re-seal it with this irritating falling off piece. And in this mode, it actually clips in really tightly. Just hold that together. So this is now a lot more like the Fort Max sword. Just add the two pipes at the bottom to give it a huge handle. Pommel just fits on the bottom. Giving you an absolutely ridiculous, oversized Shonen Jump level of swordery. Now, you can still use that sword with your Optimus Prime mold, or any other figure who finds himself feeling completely and utterly suffering from penis envy. But it's a ridiculous weapon, especially on this version where it's kind of falling apart just under the weight of that sword. I can't even get that all into shot. And yeah, well, that's quite good at showing off your apparently giant robots carrying apparently even more giant melee weapons. It's all a little bit Gurren Lagann, and it doesn't really suit any of these truck bots. And now to that following trends thing. Those of you who have been sitting around doing nothing else other than watching Transformers reviews this week may have started to see the Perfect Effect Warden turning up. This is of course a figure based on the IDW Fort Max, transforming into some sort of Cybertronian tank with a huge gun, but also into the head for your G1 figure. Now that is the kind of figure that this sword really belongs to. It doesn't ship with the God Sword. I've seen a few reviewers popping it into his hand, and gosh does it look good with that. This is around the same scale. Those of you who followed through the dark days of Energon will recognise that this is Overload, sporting a funky G1 style Brave Max colour scheme. But yeah, finally, after a couple of months of trying to work out why would anybody want to buy this huge sword, this is why. Not because you've painted up your own Overlord, but because you are eyeing up the Fort Max / Warden figure. Because this is the accessory that belongs with it. Now, Uncle Billy's Toy Castle does have these in both the Fort Max Red and the Brave Max Blue, each coming with a different head accessory. My paint job just looked so much better with the blue. So, having worked out who gets to wield this massive accessory, is it actually worth picking up? Personally, I love melee weapons on giant robots, and it is certainly impressive. Whilst it was a big story element of the Japanese Headmasters series, it's by absolutely no means essential. The detailing is absolutely fantastic on it. And the blues, even of this version, really match that initial Hasbro release Ultra Magnus. As an accessory to really mark out my custom job as Brave Max, it certainly does its job. I've seen a double set of these swords going on eBay for around £80, so the price that Uncle Billy is doing them for is definitely a hell of a lot better than that. So maybe, if you haven't picked it up yet, you have a robot who could do with the accessory, or have managed to pick up the Warden, you should give it a second look.